early start in Miyazaki for one of the last World Cups on the World Triathlon calendar in 2023 as the elite men got underway on a very unique swim course, making up the 1,500-metre swim to start the triathlon. 2 laps of varying lengths out in the water, in the ocean, but it was something that we are very much used to seeing despite the alternative setup. Mark DeVay leading the athletes after the first lap, with the New Zealand athlete Dylan McCullough hot on his heels. And those two would remain out in front in the water. The Hungarian leading by example. McCullough, though, staying right with him, and certainly a contender in this triathlon, considering his prowess both in the water and out on the bike as he led them down into transition. There's a strong group of athletes all heading out on the bike together. There was an initial group of around about 10 or so that started to work their way away from the rest of the field and give themselves a little bit of breathing room out in front. Takumi Hojo perhaps holding the expectations of the home faithful here in Japan for a possible podium. Also Jonas Schomburg, who stayed right towards the front whenever he could out on the bike. The tight twisting course that was certainly very narrow in large parts didn't allow the leading group to escape the attention of the chasing pack, and eventually they were caught up to create a rather large gaggle of athletes coming round to go out on the final lap on the bike, around about 16 or so in the lead group, all hitting transition 2 together. And it would be a race for the finish, with surely the winner coming from this initial leading pack. The chasers behind this group a minute adrift of the field. It was the Australian Brandon Copeland that set out with the early pace. He was caught, though, by the German Jonas Schomburg. But it was the New Zealand athlete Dylan McCullough that started to set the pace late on the run. Perhaps, though, not taking into account the incredible efforts of some of the athletes behind him. Hugo Milner, one of those over a minute adrift coming out of transition 2, working his way all the way to the front and taking an incredible first ever World Cup victory in Miyazaki. McCullough holding on for second place in the end, and Lasse Nygaard Priester, the German, another one coming from deep back in the field to take bronze. So Milner first, McCullough second, and Priester third on the podium. Ricardo Batista's late penalty costing him a silver and making him finish fifth.
It was tough because I kind of led the whole race in the chase pack in terms of on the run. So people were just sitting on me, so I was doing all the work. So I thought I might have emptied the tank just before, and so to be honest, I was expecting Batista to come past me because he obviously had a minute head start on me, so he might have had a bit more on the sprint, but I think he had a penalty and I just had that bit more left, and had a good sprint finish and crossed the line.
Hugo Milner! So the champagne celebration then for Milner, perhaps the first of many if he can keep that sort of run up in his career.